Hello again, and welcome to my creative African cooking channel, Ndudu by Fafa. Miawe Zulu, Ndudu by Fafa. Hello, family. Thank you again for tuning in for this Palava Sauce with a twist. So here in my saucepan, I'm melting my organic cold pressed coconut oil, and then I sliced my shallots in two. I like it chunky. I mean, you can blend this if you're one of those that don't like to see onions. And of course, I have got my salt to taste, and this is just going to allow this to infuse. So we're going to gently fry this for like a minute. Yes, exactly. Cooking this on that medium to low heat makes a big difference. The next thing is my in-house chili flakes, and not any other chili flakes, is my Scotch Bonnet chili flakes that is readily available on buyndudu.com. So do check it out. So after a minute of frying, now you have the choice of either using the Koobi blend or the anchovy seasoning blend. The choice is yours. They both work equally the same. But of course, traditionally, one likes to have that Koobi flavor. So of course, that's what I chose for this. Let's stir fry this for about 2 minutes just to allow that infusion to take place. And here I'm adding my blended tomato and red pepper mixture. I'll leave a list of ingredients and measurements in the description box so you can emulate this recipe. And of course, as I mentioned, we're going to be cooking this on that medium to low heat. So we're going to allow this to simmer, but not before I add the olive oil, my tin mackerel that came with the olive oil. I just needed that oil over it. And I'm also using a tomato-based tinned mackerel. So that will go in fast because, of course, the oil and then that tomatoey flavor is just going to mix with this tomato. And yeah, it's just going to make it all so delicious. So we're going to cook this for about 8 minutes on that medium to low heat. So whilst this is cooking, multitasking, now I need to grind my frozen spinach. Yes, I've defrosted it and I've just added some onions, and using my earthen clay bowl with internal ridges in the mortar, I'm just grinding this. But you know what? I mean, equally you can use a food processor because that would make it much easier. But this is a good exercise. You activate your core, and you can assume you're in the gym whilst everything is cooking and whilst you're just trying your thing or two. So yes, I'm just adding a little bit of the Koobi blend as well to the spinach, and I continue grinding till it was nice and textured. Next thing is my egusi, which is the melon seeds that's been blended. So now I'm just adding some water so you can tell, and I'm mixing everything till it's well combined. And I'm going to allow this to set, and it will swell up. It would absorb that water and swell up beautifully. Now, in the absence of it, you can use normal eggs. To bulk up my stew, I'm using Halloumi cheese. In the absence of that, you can use the paneer cheese as well as the Ghanaian cheese known as Wagashi. That bulks up your stew and it just makes it so delicious, especially when you bite into it. Oh, it absorbs the flavors. It's so incredible. Anyway, at this point, I'm now added my tin mackerel. Now, bear in mind, I don't want to break these into smaller pieces. So, of course, I'm going to be adding them gently and, of course, stirring them gently. We don't want any breakup affair here. It's all intact. Exactly. We might all be different, but it's all working in the spot. Everybody knows their place. Hey, you be there. You two be there. And just work your magic. We all great people, aren't we? So now my egusi has swelled up beautifully. And here I am adding it to my stew. And you notice I'm, just carefully sharing it or distributing it. Because once you add this, you have to leave it alone for it to do its own magic, because we're going for that scrambled egg consistency. Now, the thing with egusi is it's got a nutty flavor, but more so of a woody flavor. So having the onion, the coconut oil base, the tomatoes, and all that infuses right into the stew, as you can tell. And here I could see it was like attempted to catch at the bottom, but no, we scraped it up and we caught it right on time. So yes, it did not burn. So you need to bear that in mind because, of course, to achieve this, you need to be doing some cheers. But I'm happy with this. This has cooked for about 8 minutes, and I'm adding a little bit of salt to taste because I did add salt when I started this recipe. So for texture and also to refreshen the flavors that I've used here in the sauce, I've just added some thinly sliced, may I say, shallots. You can use any onions of your choosing. And here I'm just going to allow this to cook gently for about 3 minutes whilst I add a little bit of my Scotch Bonnet chili flakes, which is just so aromatic. That just adds and gives that kick to this dish. Now, yet again, I'm stirring this carefully, and then I'm just adding some sardines. Yes. So we've got mackerel, sardines, and halloumi in here. Bish, bash, bosh, you're done. Now, if you're in Ghana and you've got that smoked mackerel that we call salmon, yes, just use that for this recipe and get some Wagashi. You're good to go. Don't forget the coconut oil, though. It's all about the flavors. Now, this is working well. So here I've got my Kasoa pepper. You can use a Kpakposhito, any green chilies that you do have available. Yes, and I'm mixing this. So just imagine biting into that green chili, into the onion, and it's just flavor. And the halloumi as well is like, what am I doing in here? Yes, it's going to Dubai Fafa. Get in. At this point, you can enjoy your stew just like this with some rice, your yam. But now we had to add the spinach. We need to complete this. Absolutely. After carefully mixing this together until it's well combined, I'm now going to cover this just to simmer for about 3 to 4 minutes, just so that the spinach just warms up through perfectly. I don't want to overcook anything, especially the spinach, because you just need that flavor and the nutrients as well intact. My apologies, I'm guilty. Yes, I love onions. And yes, I have just finished this off with some purple, or may I say red onions, yes. And this is it. I'm going to turn the heat off and just leave it. Yes, that's it. It's done. Now, you'll not believe what I enjoy this with. I mean, various carbohydrates, may I say. But with kinky, you just changed the game. Because that fermentation in that kinky complements the sort of spicy egusi spinach, coconut oil flavored mackerel sardine. Can you name all the ingredients? My mouth is watering. Because you see, when I made this as well, I left a portion as well in the fridge. So the next day, I was like, yes, you coming home with me because, yes, I'll be serving you with some rice. Now, the beauty about this recipe is there's no artificial flavor in here. Everything is just all natural flavors. The other seasoning you can also use for this recipe is the dawa dawa seasoning, which is the fermented locust beans. Yet again, that is available on buyndudu.com. Yes, celebrating our ancient African blends and seasonings. Yes, you need to grab yourself a deal. So yeah, you see, when was the last time you had your palava sauce with some rice and mixed it all together? And it's almost like some native jollof rice, instant jollof rice. But I can't say jollof rice, but I can say native jollof rice somewhat. Oh, look at this. Please, family, open your mouth and let me serve you this. Look at that. Yes, I enjoyed it, and I hope that you are inspired to try this recipe as well. Now, for the ingredients, are the spice blends, seasonings, the Koobi, the anchovy seasoning blends, and more. Yes, you can find that on buyndudu.com, where everything is freshly prepared to order. So whenever you receive any of my ingredients or any of my products, yes, it's been freshly prepared just for you. Absolutely. And thank you ever so much for your support. Now, you will find traditional African recipes on my blog, indudubyfafa.blogspot.com. So do check it out. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok as Indudubyfafa. So pass by and say hi. No, thank you very much for my theme song. And on to my next recipe with you, kings and queens and beautiful people. Take care of you. Be nice, be beautiful, and guess what? Me, I love you for you. Bye. Come on,